McHale who gets the catch. He's got Patron.
We are live at Aldridge Arena on SEC Sports. It is the rivalry, White Bear Lake and Hill Murray boys hockey. And we welcome you inside this historic place to watch a historic game, a historic rivalry between two teams that don't like each other too much and that tend to put on amazing games, and that's why this place tends to be crowded every single year, whether it's played here or at the new Vadnais Sports Center. Thank you for joining us with Alex Westhead. I'm Zach Halverson. Alex, it goes without saying, this game is just, among both teams, it's a game you circle on the calendar every year.
Absolutely. As soon as I found out the schedule in August, I knew that this would be one definitely to look out for. Bears, Pioneers, dating back to the 60s. It's why people come out, why they love high school hockey so much. It's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of.
It's been a bit unfortunate for these two teams because they haven't been able to meet in the section play. So this is really, you never know what you're going to get. You have to savor this because you never know if they're going to play again. It used to be regularly every year, but in the last few years it's only been in the regular season. These two teams last met a year and a day ago. It was at Vadnais Sports Center. It was a 1-1 tie. White Bear Lake started off great, just couldn't find the back of the net again, and Hill Murray skated to a tie.
Well, Max Gendrich scored early in that matchup, and you had the feeling, just the way that the pacing was going, that the White Bear Bears were a better team on that day. But then Mike Fleischhacker scores for Hill Murray to get them even 1-1 about somewhere through the second period. And then for the next 30 minutes, it was back and forth, and then it settled for, I think, the fourth tie in the rivalry matchup history. But certainly a great one as we continue to look at the history of this rivalry so far.
Then the year before that, it was a lot less close. Hill Murray 5-2 back here at Aldridge Arena. Last time these two teams met here, and just another classic. Hill Murray, very good team, and they made it to the section final at least. And then the year before that, another close game. And that's the one thing about this too. You'll see as we go through the matchup history, it's been close. White Bears had their opportunities, and both 2015 and the 2014 games are examples of that, especially that 5-4 game. You thought maybe White Bear could take that one. Hill Murray still the better team.
Well, that's part of the rivalry aspect to it, is that so many times White Bear comes so close to getting over that hump, beating them in the regular season or beating them in the section final, and then there's always something that happens, whether it's a goal late that shouldn't have been given up or anything else that just makes it difficult. And even there, as we saw the 2012-13 section playoff, the last time they met in the playoffs, where I think it was Jared Schletty that had a great game, but then that one goal just turns the tide.
And it was Davis Zarabinski, a White Bear Lake kid, who scored that game winner. What a game that was. And then finally, but we talk about section playoffs, the last time the Bears beat the Pioneers, it was an incredible game. Hill Murray comes in #1 team in the state. And next thing you know, we're in double overtime, and you're going to see here Matt Jansen on the left side there finish and give White Bear their first state tournament berth since 2005. Amazing atmosphere at the State Fair Coliseum.
Well, Zach, you and I were both students in the White Bear system at the time, and we both talked about before the game here where we had fantastic memories of that matchup. I was a drum major in the band. The place was nuts. That's why I loved it when the tournament was at the State Fair Coliseum. Now that it's here, still a great atmosphere, but there was nothing like that.
Nothing like that at all. You see the celebration, that jam-packed 8,000 people. And again, that game, it cannot be understated. One of the greatest hockey games I've ever seen from both teams too. I mean, Bears come out. It was Max Birkenbein who scored early on that set the tone, gave the Bears an opportunity. They go into the third with a 4-1 lead. And I'm on there with our broadcast there with Tim Peterson saying, it ain't over. It ain't over. And I'll tell you what, I talked to Tim Sager after that, a few weeks after the game. He watched the broadcast, and he was with me. He's like, it ain't over. It ain't over. They come back. Pioneers score 3 goals in the third. They get to 4-4. And then Ben Baugh, late in the third, has an opportunity to win it. Wide open net, misses wide, and you're always going to remember that as that it almost was destiny, that March 4, 2011 evening, and it's one of those evenings that Bears fans treasure because really hasn't been that good since, unfortunately.
Well, you said it, Zach, when the Bears were up at the start of the second 4-1 and it got tied 4-4, you thought, oh, here we go again. Another Hill Murray come from behind win. They were the best team in the state, and some people could argue in the nation as well. They had, they had future NHLers and Jake Gensel, now the Penguins. And it was a good team, and
by the way, it was held off the score sheet that entire game. So credit the Bears there for keeping a future NHLer off the score sheet. But it's one thing that people, some Pioneer fans might say, well, why do you keep going back to that year? Well, you know what? It's what we got right now. Now, you want to go further back from 2011, you can go back to November 23rd, 2004, which is 13 years and 1 month to the day since the last time White Bear Lake beat the Hill Murray Pioneers in the regular season. That is an incredible streak, a frustrating streak for Bears fans. But you look at this matchup, Bears ranked 7th, Pioneers ranked 19th. Bears coming into this game still undefeated. This is the best opportunities. You see the Bears on top of the Suburban East. Best opportunity in a long time for the Bears to come out on top and end that ridiculously long streak.
Well, again, we do look at that standings there. Stillwater, a huge team in transition. Cretin-Derham Hall starting to play down a little bit based on what they were at the start of the season. But Forest Lake is another team that could start to make a push towards the top of the standings here. But, of course, those bottom feeder teams that something just happened in that program where they aren't quite as consistent as they used to be.
Yeah, and you look at the Ponies and how good they've been. Unfortunately, especially with the rest of the Suburban East, after Cretin-Derham Hall, it's a massive drop. And of course, you have to play two teams out of all those, or play each of those teams twice. So you have to play Roseville twice. Roseville just is in a down year, and so Bears have played them twice already. They got them out of the way. January will be a very tough schedule. It starts here. Duluth East, though, was probably the game that I think gave everybody hope on White Bear Lake side, and you'd like to see the Bears build on that, because if you were there, it was a 3-0 first period from Duluth East. The Greyhounds dominated the Bears. And then the rest of the game, it was White Bear Lake, and they came back, they tied it. It ended up being a 3-3 tie. If you're White Bear Lake, you want to build on those two periods because you're playing a team of similar caliber, and also this is a rivalry game, so you like to throw out records here. So it really doesn't matter. As we look where Hill Murray is, Hill Murray ranked 19th. They're in the top, of course, of the Metro East, right behind Mahtomedi. But the Pioneers are good. They're not the best that they've been in many years, and that's why we say, I mean, this is the best year for White Bear Lake in a very long time.
Well, the Pioneers are having a year of turnover. They lost a lot of senior leadership, their top line gone, colleges, wherever, and in net as well, where you had two solid goaltenders, Jake Begley and in goal, and now they're turning to sophomores, and they don't quite know. They had a tough matchup against Mahtomedi, who's #1 in Class A. And as we take a look at my keys of the game for the Hill Murray Pioneers, my first one, stay out of the box. On Thursday, they lost by a final of 7-1 against St. Thomas Academy. They had 7 penalties in that game, which affected them. Granted, St. Thomas Academy, a very strong opponent, but you're going to need to stay out of the box against the White Bear Lake Bears. Also, depth scoring. When you look at the bottom 6 on this Hill Murray roster, they have all of 1 goal between them. If Hill Murray wants a chance to win this game, they're going to have to get some depth.
For White Bear Lake?
For White Bear Lake, my keys to them, play your game early. You have a feeling that you're the better team and you know what your game is. One of the problems with the Bears is that they don't play their game all the time and they get away from that. If you get speed, you get physicality, which hallmarks this White Bear team, that's going to be success for you. And then also, defense matters. Aside from freshman Owen Gallatin with 11 points, no one else has more than 2. You're going to need to use your defense effectively and get shots from the point on goal. And then keep the goal mouth clear. The Hill Murray power play is going to put bodies in front of the net. If you can't clear them out, they're going to score.
Max Jenrich on the ice, 13 points this season, including 8 goals, has been key. He's also been bounced around in the lineup here. He's back on the top line for the first time in a while, but him, Hampstead, and Carroll just when they're on, they could dominate a hockey game.
You could argue that they are one of the best lines in the entire state of Minnesota because they've been playing together for a long time. When I look at my notes here, they've been dating back to youth hockey, and all 3 of their seasons at the varsity level, they've been together as well. When they're going, the team's going well.
And on the other side of the ice, Ben Helgeson, he's committed to Wisconsin, and he's been having a pretty good season as well. As you see, 6 goals, 5 assists. The guy is a talent, and heck, when you can as a junior already be committed to a Division I school as prestigious as the University of Wisconsin. That certainly says something.
Well, Badger fans certainly have a lot to look forward to with Helgeson. Speed, power, physicality, a great nose for the net. He knows what to do. He knows how to play the game, and certainly University of Wisconsin has a lot to look forward to with Ben Helgeson.
We will pause for the national anthem, and then we'll drop the puck on the rivalry. White Bear Lake, Hill Murray on SCC Sports.
Attention to the west end of the ice surface. Ladies and gentlemen, please remove your caps. And in the honor of the United States of America, please join Dr. Jake and Mr. Paul Kohler in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Ladies and gentlemen,
We mentioned a little bit earlier the schedule for White Bear Lake certainly doesn't get any easier. You look at Bloomington Jefferson, and then you go to the #1 team in the state, and probably a state tournament favorite. If not, I don't know who's going to beat them. The Edina Hornets on January 4th. Come back, Rochester Century, Stillwater. That January 9th game will be huge too. I mean, the whole month of January basically. Very, very big for White Bear.
Well, it's going to be a tough matchup. We've seen how they've done against the bottom feeders and the teams that are lower in the section and in the state of Minnesota as well. But that matchup against Edina is going to be a tough one. I think in the preseason they played and they lost 8-3 to a big, physical, well-skilled Edina Hornet team. And of course, it's tough to win hockey games when you get to Braemar Arena as well.
Steven Uremovich in net for White Bear Lake. He's traded some time with Evan Foss, but certainly has emerged a little bit as a leader in the goaltending race.
Certainly coming in onto the season for Uremovich, he's 2-0-2, a 1.85 goals against average and a save percentage of .892. He gets the big games, Zach, when the team needs a win and they need to set the tempo. He's the guy in net and he can do some great things as well.
Remington Keppel 200 feet away from Mr. Uremovich. He'll be the goaltender tonight for Hill Murray. 2-2-2 in the year. Not too bad. He's had a bit of a rough game against St. Thomas. That's what brings all of his stats into whack.
Exactly. He got pulled in this after the second period after giving up 6 goals to a good St. Thomas Academy team. He's going to get to look on the right track, and as well this Herb Miller team with a chip on their shoulder following their last game.
Bears will win the draw here. It's the rivalry, White Bear Lake, Hill Murray. Thank you for tuning in live on SCC Sports. Here's Jenrich with an opportunity right away, and that's turned away by Keppel, and that's what you want from your top line as Hill Murray is forced to ice it. You want that energy, you want a shot just about 10 seconds in. Jenrich testing Keppel right away.
Exactly. You know that the goaltender going out didn't have a strong showing in his last outing, so you want to put a shot on goal quick just to see where he's at.
And I want to correct here, Wyatt Vint is actually is in the net here according to our roster here. So Wyatt Vint, or make that. We have a couple of roster sheets that say 33 is Wyatt Vint. Well, I'll trust your judgment and say Keppel.
Yeah, I'll go with Keppel.
We'll go with Keppel for now. Okay, so a couple different sheets say 33 Wyatt Vint, and well, we'll check on that in a moment. But nonetheless, we'll keep going here. Neutralized puck battle in front of the benches. It's poked free. Played up left side by Brady O'Brien. Into the zone it goes. Meister giving chase. He shakes off Petronak into the near side. It's battled for. Swung around hard to Sam Carr. Carr will clear the zone. Tries to maneuver his way through. Gets into the White Bear Lake end. Sends it deep off the back wall. Picked up by Jake Klein. He'll go off the glass to center. Goes all the way in. First on the puck is Sam Rupower. He'll drop it down low, a centering attempt to nobody. It bounces all the way back to the White Bear Lake end.
Well, so far, Zach, we got some good back and forth, good puck movement. Again, the teams still trying to figure each other out, but we saw a big hit in the corner there from Jake Klein. The physicality is there, and the rivalry is just as strong.
Into the corner it goes. Out to Neutralized. Falling on it was Lions. Bears retreat. It's Alice. He'll give it to Lions in the corner. Plays it to the half wall. Backhanded down low by Quast. Now a centering attempt. Loose in the slot. Bears will take it away. Lions with it to some open ice. He'll get to the red line and he'll dump it in deep. Max Jenrich along with Hamstead down there. Dangerous trio along with Carroll. But these Bears can produce. It's back to Millard. Millard's shot goes wide of the goal. Gallatin, first sight of him tonight. UMD commit, goes to the corner. Now a weak angle shot off the side of the cage, and the whistle blows. And some pushing and shoving after the whistle, but if you're Hill Murray, you might as well try to get in the heads of Hamstead relatively early here.
Well, one of the things that we've seen other teams do is they do try to get into the heads of the Hamstead Carroll Jenrich line. That line, and I would expect that they would be double shifted through most of the night.
Yeah, especially early on too. You set the tone and see what they can do here early on. One common theme for White Bear Lake, whenever they've beaten a team like Bill Lechner's Hill Murray Pioneers, which we haven't even talked about Bill Lechner yet and how great of a coach he is and what program he has built at Hill Murray. Puck cleared down the ice, looks like it'll be another icing. What a head coach. I mean, what he has done with this squad, just every year competing, made another state tournament appearance last year, and I believe there's their 28th state tournament appearance. That's incredible. A lot of banners on the west side of the Aldridge Arena that these Pioneer fans will be proud of.
Certainly, when you take a look at it, head coach Tim Sager there for the Bears, the Pioneers have done a great job. A nice little shot there from the top of the circle as well. But they've done a great job. They've established a team and a tradition here.
Jenrich, Hamstead with an opportunity in the back door, couldn't finish. Another try through the crease. And the Bears got close, just couldn't execute the final play. Here's Hamstead again. He'll drive behind the goal, leaves it off the side of the cage. Pioneers will try to break it out. They'll do so. They'll get it to neutral, but Carroll will take it right back in. Austin Carroll. Left-handed pass here for Hamstead. Back for Carroll, but it's poke checked away nicely by Oberle. He'll try to clear. Hamstead keeps it in for a moment. Now sends it on goal. Oberle there again. Tries to clear, but it's Gallatin this time for Hamstead with a shot save. Rebound cleared and out of the zone. Down the ice by Brett Oberle. The Bears pressing here early, getting close, and just couldn't find it past the Pioneer goaltender.
Yeah, great shot there from Hamstead right at the slot area, but just right into the pads of the goaltender. And you know, if they keep buzzing, the ice feels tilted towards this Hill Murray end right now.
See what this next line here. It's the third line on the sheet. Wilkie, Meister, and McMurtry. McMurtry off the draw misses the net with the shot. He kept in on the far side by O'Brien. Meister, very physical player, just like his older brother Brett many years ago. Well, not many years, a few years ago. And he certainly provides a spark on this team. And you like that on that third line there. You want a spark, energy line, checking line, whatever you want to call it. And he certainly provides that. A shot from the blue line directed away off the blocker of Keppel. Kept in here by O'Brien. He'll center one, goes through past Hurley's stick. Now back out here trying to keep it in was O'Brien, and he did for a moment, but it did squirt free, so Bears will touch up. Now it's into the zone again. New Power trying to sauce a pass to his right to Chase Bill. Doesn't connect. Goes behind the net. New Power battling for it here. Pokes free to the corner. New Power gets it back. One-time shot. Not a lot on it there. Kind of whiffed on a stick in the way of Billy Rose, and the puck is cleared out back to the White Bear Lake end for the first time in a while. Backhanded in by Rose, and back into the White Bear, in the Hill Murray end, the puck goes. Lions keeping it in. Off the wall. Carried around by Chase Bill. Lions to the corner. Centering attempt. Whiffing on it was Bill. Puck was all the way back into the White Bear Lake end. With some speed in is Joe Quast. Quast using his body. Bears come away with the puck for a moment. Alez leaving it for Hamstead. Hamstead cross ice to Lyons. Now back to Alez. Hamstead into the zone. A shot, save, and covered. There's that another shot to their SOG total.
You know, Zach, to go back to that third line, you've been talking about how they've been a speed and energy line. It's fun to watch them play. There's a great chemistry between them, and they move the puck very well in the offensive zone. And even going through neutral zone, too, they have some great speed, some great opportunities that they can create when they're out there on the ice.
Very important to talk about depth. Bears certainly going to need it here if they're going to compete with some of the top teams in the state, including the Pioneers, as Carroll misses a direction. Weak angle opportunity for Hamstead. He'll just carry it behind, and then it's stolen away from him. And down the ice comes Helgeson. Ben Helgeson. First time we've really seen him around the puck tonight. He'll battle for it behind the White Bear Lake net. Carroll comes away with it to Hamstead. Hamstead flips it up in the air to center. Backing up is Overly. He'll play it to his right, and it's dumped in deep by Joey Patron. Around the wall it goes. Fleischacker can't keep it in. Played back, but Miller will grab it. Blows a tire there as he got the puck to Neutralized. Now it's in by Connor McMurtry with a shot, save, rebound covered. There's the whistle, and they're not too happy with McMurtry taking a little extra shot there. But hey, the whistle hadn't blown. And I guess you got to play to the whistle, but I don't blame the Pioneers for being angry at those coincidental plays.
Well, at the same time, you are taught to go to the net, and like you said, Zach, whistle hadn't blown yet. So until that whistle blows, you got to keep moving, keep pushing toward the net as Meister sends a shot high there.
Very close. Bears getting their opportunities, but needing to execute as we reach the 6-minute mark of this one. Still scoreless. White Bear Lake, Hill Murray. If you're just tuning in on December 23rd, you're watching this live on FCC Sports with Alex Westad. I am Zach Elvis. At the red line. Swung across. Played off the shelf into the White Bear Lake end. Back to pick up here is Jake Klein. He'll play it forward. Now to Meister. Meister's trying to split the D. He's tripped up on the play. Pioneers will touch up, and the Bears will get the first crack at the power play here with 10.5 to go in the first.
Well, it was a smart pass to send it in there to Meister. He had 3 Pioneers that he was streaking through, and he knew that he could probably draw a penalty on that pass. And now that puts White Bear up on the power play, where they have been very good this year, 24% on the power play.
Very good power play. They get basically all their heavy hitters out. You got 4 forwards in Meister, Hamstead, Carroll, Jenrich, and then you have your D1 commit, Owen Gallatin, working the blue line, kind of running the quarterback on the play.
And if you're wondering why there's a freshman already committed to UMD, his puck knowledge is great. He knows exactly where to put the puck. He might need to be a little bit bigger as far as his size goes, but he knows exactly what to do with the puck every time he touches it.
Owen Gallatin with the puck here as the Pioneers won a crucial draw, killed the first roughly 15-20 seconds. This will kill another 20 seconds off here. Rough start to the power play for White Bear Lake. Good job on the penalty kill by Hill Murray as the Bears will try to break it out of their own zone. It's Owen Gallatin to Carroll. Cross the ice for Hamstead. Hamstead stops, flips it in the air, goes all the way through the corner where Carroll will pick it up. Carroll back to Gallatin. Cross for Hamstead. Hamstead down low. Jenrich will carry it around to Gallatin. Gallatin shot blocked, cleared out just past Gallatin. He tried to whack it out of the air. Just went by him, and he'll retreat to his own zone. 1 minute to go in the power play for White Bear Lake. Not much to show for it through 60 seconds.
Pioneer penalty kill, Zach, has been doing a very good job of keeping the pucks from the center of the ice. And so far, when Gallatin's
Helgeson on a chance here. And a play off the side of the cage. The shot was taken there, and it didn't go. My goodness, Uremovich. Wow, that's I guess what you'd call a teaching moment. As Helgeson was bearing down on Uremovich, he was able to get his stick in the way, but it came out in front, and that was about as good of an opportunity all night you'll see for Hill Murray. Short-handed, that could have changed the whole dynamic of this hockey game.
Oh, the Pioneers 80% on the penalty kill, and of course the best way to kill a penalty is to get a goal, and that play right there is really emblematic of the White Bear Hill Murray rivalry, where there's one little mistake that makes a difference in that hockey game.
crazy, crazy opportunity. There's 19 seconds left on, I guess it's technically called a power play, but not much power in this power play for White Bear Lake thus far. We'll see if they can switch some things up here, make some adjustments, but very disappointing effort, at least to start early on, halfway through this first period. Bears will try to get something going in the final seconds. 10 to go. Hampstead with the puck. Lost it. Sent on goal from 100 feet away. Nice glove save for Yuremovich. Certainly a shot on goal from Brett Oberle as the Hill Murray Pioneers now full strength.
I'm not 100% sure about this, Zach, but that might be the first shot on goal for the Pioneers so far tonight.
Absolutely. And, you know, you actually wonder if there was, from 100 feet away, that might have been the first from the red line. So Pioneers trying to use some momentum, perhaps gain. Bears trying to squash that right away. Hampstead, nice moves there, but his puck is poked off his stick. Back the other way come the Pioneers on the left side there. Nice job by Carroll, back checking and seeing the puck away. End of the shift here. We'll see what they do as it's brought in offside. You see, they were out there for a while, and you know, you tend to get a little jumpy there, and perhaps fatigue a factor in that offside. We'll take a look at this again. Yuremovich, if you're at this moment here, you got to just go up the boards with it. He tried to go between Helgeson and the net, and then a great opportunity in the near side. I'm sure, not even expecting it, but wow, just crazy play that again could have been big for the Pioneers. They just couldn't find the back of the net.
Yeah, usually when the puck's on your stick there, like you said, Zach, you got to put it up the boards or put it somewhere where the team coming in and giving you a good forecheck isn't going to get it. And that time they did. And luckily it went out for the Bears, but you can't give up that opportunity again.
McMurtry keeping it going. Millard there poked off his stick. One thing we should bring up too, and to Yuremovich's credit, this is the biggest crowd I'm sure he's played in front of in his career. It's a White Bear Hill game. You know, energy, tension, nervousness is at a high, probably the highest he's ever been. And perhaps just kind of a decision made on nerves there, and a bad decision. But again, you want to learn from it and move forward.
Well, hopefully if he can continue to keep his
turnover in front, Rose with a chance, but he couldn't get it to go. Poked free, Bill will pick it up. He'll just cycle right back down for Rose. Rose behind for New Power. New Power will try to muscle it free and can't do so as it's battled for along the wall.
You know, to get back to the point there, the best way to keep Yuremovich from even having to save the puck is to keep the pressure on. And again, we've been played near 10.5 minutes now, and it feels like White Bear has dominated the possession game, and you haven't said many of the Hill Murray Pioneers at all.
No, this has been all White Bear Lake, though. Again, you wonder, man, that power play, you like to get more from that, and that is certainly you want to build on that. And if you're Hill Murray, you want to build on that and try to use that as some sort of hope. But again, this has been all White Bear Lake thus far.
At the same time, you can never count on a Bill Lechner coach team. They always play well, they play hard, and they know how to win. When they're here all time at Aldrich Arena, they've won 566 hockey games here in this arena. That's a darn good winning percentage. I don't care what team you are.
Poke check, Jenridge shot, paddle save. Back to pick up is going to be Jenridge. He'll go hard off the wall for Carroll to pick up. Dan Lyons to his left. Turnover. Sloppy play there by Alez. He'll gather it back here in the corner. And just past the blue line it goes. Bears, some of the passing in their own zone especially, very uncharacteristically sloppy. And you're playing a team like Hill Murray in a big rivalry game. You'd like to see that cleaned up a little bit if you're Tim Sager, I'm sure.
Well, I think the Bears are rushing their puck movement just a little bit too fast. Because when they have time, they can get the puck moving and they know where to put it. But I think the forecheck of the Pioneers is getting in on there, causing pressure, and they're doing a good job of that. I also noticed that they're having some trouble getting the puck into the neutralized area too, and the Pioneers are doing the best. Joe Becker with a nice play on the far side.
McMurtry trying to battle for it, but it's poked back behind. Now an icing will be called on Hill Murray. So we'll bring it back into the White Bear Lake end with, or the Hill Murray end, I should say, with 5:19 to go in the first.
You know, a nice crowd here at Aldrich Arena. You can see on the White Bear Lake side, barely a seat left in the arena. Hill Murray side is full too. A good showing by both student sections and, of course, with the Hill Murray pep band here as well.
They moved the student sections to opposite sides of the building because, well, we can't have fun anymore, Alex. That's the rule. Meister in 2-on-1 chance here across. Turning around is Bill, and then it's misplayed there in the slot area. Gallatin with a chance. He'll put it in front for McMurtry. Now a shot off the crossbar. What an opportunity for Chase Bill. And then away from the play, a couple of players maybe connected via helmet. And now they get them separated. Their helmets, cages got tied up there, but Chase Bill just hit the crossbar. I'd like to see overhead replay. We don't have that technology, but this might be a better look at it here. Great play in front.
Well, the great play in front gets the Hill Murray Pioneers out of sorts here, and they have a lot of chances here. And you can see as Meister, I think that is coming up there right on that. That could have been in the net, but great plays just to keep the puck low and get the Hill Murray Pioneers unable to set up in their own defensive zone.
Battle behind the Hill Murray net. Hampstead, weak angle shot, turned away. Gallatin across, trying to find Carroll wide open on the back door, a little bit too hard. Now another hard pass goes back to Gallatin on the left side. Now across, here's Hampstead wide of the goal. Luckily, Gallatin's there to pick up the rebound. Gallatin will pick it up. He'll carry it behind the Hill Murray net, spins around, lets it go for Jenrich. Jenrich at the half wall, muscles it free, goes back down deep before he'll reverse outside. Tried to find Carroll, goes all the way back to Gallatin. Gallatin to Hampstead in front of Jenrich, but it skips his stick. And then Millard will come down and press as the Pioneers try to clear, but they can't do to Spencer Millard's stick. Now it's Hampstead behind. He'll keep with the puck. He finds Jenrich. Jenrich maneuvering his way around, looking in front, goes all the way back. Gallatin on his backhand, back to his forehand. Finds Hampstead, his shot directed just wide. Carroll will pick it up again. He'll send it through, nearly went off of a Pioneer in front, went into their own net, and the Pioneers forced to ice it after a domination shift put on by Chase Hampstead, Austin Carroll, Max Jenrich, Owen Gallatin, and crew.
Well, you can hear the White Bear Lake crowd giving some applause. Great effort, great puck movement, but you're going to need to score on those opportunities, because until you score, it's Hill Murray's barn. It's still the advantage to the Pioneers.
Certainly knocking on the door as of late, but as you mentioned, you got to execute.
Well, speaking of lack of execute, I think hopefully the Bears don't have any sort of lasting memories from their last game in this barn, that section quarterfinal game last year against Tartan, where they played Tartan very well and then just missed the post a couple of times, where hopefully they don't have shades of that here again tonight.
A 1-0 shutout by the Tartan Titans to advance and beat White Bear Lake. Last time these Bears team took the Hill Murray Pioneer home rinks ice. It's of course the site of the Section 4 AA tournament. Great atmosphere as always that entire day of hockey, and then you get 3 more days after that of great hockey here at Aldridge, but still plenty of games to be played before section time rolls around. Pioneers trying to press here, and this game, you talk about sections, how important this game is to that. Seeding is going to be key here. Pioneers somehow pull off a win, as we're going to get a penalty call here, but if the Pioneers can pull off a victory here tonight, that'd be huge seeding wise for them. And come late February, they could be above White Bear Lake, which there's some benefits to that.
Now this will be an interference call going against Jake Klein. I believe it was a play in front of the net where it happened, where I think he just took the route away to the puck, and that's textbook interference. But like you're talking about, Zach, these two teams right now, for me, they're at the top of that section. And I put White Bear up on top just because of the quality of wins that they've had so far.
Big power play for the Pioneers coming up. Bears will win the draw, however. Gallatin has it. He'll split the D with the puck, and it'll go on goal. So that'll kill off the first part of this power play for Hill Murray.
That Pioneer power play running at 28.6% on the season.
Helgeson on the left side. He'll center one and chance shot, score. Charlie Strobel scores for Hill Murray. And on the power play, the Pioneers take a 1-0 lead.
Well, it's a power play, so you're short a man, but they were entering the zone 3-on-3 aside, and nobody picked up Strobel on that far side. And of course, at that point, Strobel gets a gift. He puts it past Jurimovic for the first goal of this game. That's a goal the Bears would like to have back, but ultimately we're on the power play. You got to be able to cover everybody when you're even strength entering into the zone.
Well, big 2.5 minutes here left in this first. Big 2.5 minutes for White Bear Lake. We'll see how they respond. Not a good start here as the Pioneers get into the White Bear Lake end, but this top line will carry it back out here. It's Hamstead off the wall for Jenrich. Jenrich down low. Hamstead trying to finish it there. Couldn't do so as it's played back out to Neutralized. Austin Carroll with the puck. He'll give it to his left for Brady O'Brien. O'Brien dumps it in deep. Chased after here in the near corner. Tischler trying to clear. Tischler keeping it out to himself there. Crosses the red line. Great job by Troy Tischler. Clear that puck out of harm's way with just under 2 to go in the first. Chase Hamstead with the puck. Hard off the wall to center. Gets behind Matthew Fleischacker. He'll slide it to his right. Played deep by Ryan Peterson. Owen Gallatin pass to his left. Bears will make their way down the ice. With speed here is Billy Rose. Rose drop pass across. Now in front. Gallatin shot direction over the net into the netting behind. I believe the Pioneer goaltender there got a stick on it.
And it's a great opportunity here for the Bears. They had traffic in front. Bodies were moving. But unfortunately, nothing could get by the goaltender. Went right into the stick and then out of play.
Draw one by the Pioneers. Off the glass to center. Goes all the way back here with speed on the right side. It's Peterson. Check that. That's Joe Beckham forcing the play. But the Bears are able to break it out. Back down the ice they go. Driven in the wall was Chase Bill, but he got the puck forward. Sam Newpower now to Bill. Bill centering one, taken away by the Pioneers. They'll play it high in the air out to center. Owen Gallatin chases it down. Icing waved off there. Nice play by Sam Carr. See fights with Gallatin. Big body battle there. 35 to go in the opening period as that puck ends up in the penalty box area. What do we got coming up in the intermission, Alex?
Well, at the intermission, the first intermission here tonight, we have an interview that I conducted a few months ago, just after the start of the hockey season, with White Bear Lake Bears head coach. As you can see the back of his head there, with White Bear Lake Bears head coach Tim Sager. We talked about his career. We talked about how he feels about the team so far. A great interview, and we're looking forward to share that with you here in the first intermission.
Can't wait. Good stuff coming here. If you're watching us live, December 23rd, 2017, White Bear Lake, Hill Murray. And look at that. The Pioneers already up 1-0. Bears trying to get some magic going late in the first. Carroll able to poke it forward to Jenrich. Now it's to Hamstead. Down the ice they go. Cross here for Jenrich. Jenrich driving, backhand shot, save, rebound, another save. 6.4 to go. Bears nearly capitalized late in the first.
Dangerous. Oh, sorry, Zach.
Go ahead.
Dangerous positioning there by the Pioneers defensively, where they took the body there instead of letting the goaltender stay squared. Almost turned into a goal for the Pioneers, as there was somebody on the near side that was open for that shot, and a little quicker could get past the goaltender.
Off the draw, shot is blocked. The Pioneers will clear it away, and that'll do it for the first. Well, my goodness. I was going to say, and they let that go. So the clock stopped at .1. That's what we were talking about. But they will let it go, and we head to the first intermission with a Hill Murray lead, 1-0. The Bears dominated much of that first, but I think the difference here at this point, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, execution.
Exactly, execution for the Bears. Tons of opportunities in front of the net where they had pucks in that blue paint area. They just couldn't put one past. And for the Pioneers, execution on the power play gives them the 1-0 advantage.
Well, we will head to break here, and Alex, I can't wait to see this. We'll learn a little bit more about Tim Sager and what he has to say about his White Bear Lake squad. Right now, it's White Bear Lake Hill Murray, the rivalry, and SCC Sports.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome here inside the second episode of Coach's Corner here on Sports Path. Of course, winter sports have started, and I'm pleased to be joined this episode by White Bear Lake High School hockey coach, Mr. Tim Sager. Tim, thanks for joining us here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start out with this question. We talked a little bit about your experiences coming in here. You've been as a coach for 33 years and then in White Bear Lake for 16. Tell us a little bit about how you came to be head coach here in White Bear Lake.
Well, I think just the experience of, I grew up in St. Paul and ended up getting a scholarship out of high school as a graduate of Cretin, and fortunate enough to get a scholarship to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and played 4 years there. I was in 3 national championships there. We won 2. Just kept working on my undergraduate degree. I always know I wanted to coach. I had some great coaches, so came back to the Twin Cities as a young guy and just started working my way up through JV hockey into an assistant's job. And hockey, athletics don't pay the bill, so I was trying to get a teaching job, and they were very scarce at the time, so I headed back to central Wisconsin, a little town called Medford, and I was there for 3 years. They started a high school program, and then I was at Wausau East High School for 9. And then the job opened up here and applied, and wanted to get back to always knew I wanted to get back to the Twin Cities and Minnesota hockey, so very fortunate and humbled to be the head coach here.
So now that you've been here for as long as you have, what is it that keeps you coming back to coach this program year in and year out?
I think seeing, helping kids get better as people. The hockey part is pretty easy. It's just, now having guys come back that have played for me and part of my coaching staff, also helping coaches learn how to be coaches. It's not, quote, the 9-to-5 job. It's 24/7. And, it's 12 months out of the year. And if it isn't on the ice, you're helping with college, you're helping with academics, the whole 9 yards. So it's still fun. When the fun leaves, that's when I'll be done. But no, I'm still having a good time with it. And, we got a great coaching staff. We got great administration here. So it's been just a blast.
One of the things that I see you as a Phi-Ed teacher at Central Middle School here in the White Bear Lake area, I see that you're interacting with kids on an almost daily basis, sitting outside your room before home base and just saying different things to different kids. How important is the role of forming a relationship with students, players, into what you do in a hockey program?
Well, it's just a huge part. They get to know you as a teacher, and then they know you as a coach, and and kids that are in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, you're building those relationships. Especially the hockey players, when you get to see them and ask them about their day and how things are going. And, by the time they get to you, as sophomores, juniors, and seniors, you've got a background on them, and you understand who they are, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are to help them with. So, yeah, it's a fun job. A lot of people shy away from the middle school. We call it Hormone Central, and you just sort of laugh at things and some of the decisions they make. But, we're there to help them grow as people.
So, of course, with the hockey team, great start to the season already so far, a dominating effort against Roseville on Saturday night. Talk a little bit about what you liked out of that effort on Saturday.
Well, the energy, it's a brand new team. We only have, 6 seniors or so on the team, so there's a lot of raw talent right now there that have come up from the Bantam AA championship team from last year. Guys stepping in different roles. That's fun for me to see these juniors now grab the reins, and now they're the leaders, showing the younger guys how things are done. And the effort was, there was a lot of energy. I didn't like the way it ended. The energy went away a little bit for the 3rd period, and it seemed like it was more of a July afternoon scrimmage because the intensity wasn't there. So, we talk about 3 words in our locker room when we're talking about playing the game. The first is setting the tempo. The 2nd period we try to dominate, and the 3rd we try to finish. And I didn't like the way we finished. There's just too many little quirky things that if you're playing a real quality team, they're gonna exploit that. So it's things we need to clean up. Again, we've had 3 practices, so we've got a lot of time. This team will be a lot different in a month, and in 2 months it'll be a lot different. But it's been a great start so far.
Speaking of those quality teams coming around the corner, I looked at a stat online that said 10 of the 25 games you play this year is against teams currently ranked in the top 20 in Class 2A. How do you prepare for those tougher opponents, and do you make any changes?
Through the years that I've been here, we've got a pretty good idea of what each team's going to be doing. We've already seen Edina in a scrimmage, and they look like they're at mid-season form. They got quite a few Division I commits, so it's a great challenge for us to get better. That's the level we want to try and play at. We try and schedule the toughest schedule we can to get better. We don't worry about wins and losses. Those things will take care of themselves. We just want to develop as a team, and it's quote, it's not a sprint, it's a journey through everything. So like I said, come January, it'll be a great challenge against Edina. Tomorrow night with Cloquet and Duluth East. Duluth East is a senior-laden team with a lot of quality players, where Cloquet is more of a junior-laden team with some real top-end forwards. So it's going to be a great challenge for us, and we look forward to it.
So speaking of those opponents, is there anyone on your calendar that you really have circled as this is a game we need to win?
Well, I think we want to win them all. We just want to get better. If we can constantly get better, the wins and losses will take care of themselves if we're doing the things that we need to do. It's like the other night we talked after the game, and I just, as a coaching staff, we always talk about it's about us, getting better at our system. It's not about the opponent. It's about what we need to do. And, we saw some good things the other night, but there's, it's in the infancy stage. So we're looking forward to a lot of good things.
So talk with us again. Through 16 years as White Bear Lake hockey head coach, you have to have one favorite memory that's really stuck with you through the years. What would that one be?
Oh boy, I would tend to say there's a couple. It was always my dream as a high school hockey player to get to the state tournament, and Coach Anderson was my first captain here to be able to get to a state tournament that first year. Brought a tear to my eye, and all the hard work that had paid off. I never knew if I was going to get that chance. Walking down the tunnel at the X as the coach, and then I would say, there's so many great memories of kids just giving every day. I think as I've gotten older, I like practice more than the games because that's when you can help them. But I would tend to think as people would say, the major upset in 2011, where I think Hill Murray was rated the #1 team in the country in prep hockey, and they took it to us here early on in a non-conference game, and watching our guys develop, and we knew that we were going to have to do a couple different things, but seeing them upset them and having seniors crying on your shoulder, thanking you and believing in them. Those are 2 that stick out, but there's many that have stuck out. It's just some great people have helped me in this program. We've got great kids, quality kids that have come through this program. So, I'm just proud to say that I'm the head coach of them.
Let's go ahead and talk about your top lines forwards again with Austin Carroll, Max Jenrich, and then Chase Hampstead as well. What have you seen over their careers as far as their improvements and the way that they battle every single night?
Well, I think one of the things going back to having Coach Greer here as the forward coach 3 years ago, before he stepped away, we saw all this raw talent in these 3 young guys, and we knew that they would struggle the first year because they were playing against the top lines, but we saw the potential. And, all 3 of them are great guys on the ice. They're great leaders. They're, academically, they work extremely hard. So we're trying to mold them into, quality people for society. But here at the rink, just the hard work that's gone into developing, and now they've all grown. They're big guys, and they're our go-to guys. And you saw the other night, when they really move the puck, they're fun to watch. But it's going to be nice to see them come against some real quality teams and see how they do when they handle that type of pressure. And it's been fun. They have worked extremely hard to get where they're at, and they don't back down from any challenge. So it's been fun to watch.
Last question for you. If there was any aspiring coaches or aspiring hockey players that would be watching this interview, what advice would you give to them as they try to start their career down that path?
It has to be fun. The wins and losses will take care of themselves. It's a whole lot of work. It's a whole lot of dedication. The guys that are, you know, behind us over our shoulder out there, and the guys on our JV, we've got 37 guys, and if you figured out when they were all knee-high shavers starting over at Central and, you know, in the Hippodrome over there, you know, there's roughly 400 kids, and it's down to 37. So it's, you know, you're in a select group. There's a lot of pride pulling that jersey over your head, but, you know, you got to commit yourself. You got to work hard, when you think you're working hard, work harder. But the coaching has been so rewarding. You know, helping kids, having people call you when they come back, or, you know, all of a sudden out of the blue they give you a call and how are things going. I got 3, 4, 5 calls the other night before we played from former players. Hey, good luck, coach, and have a fun season. So, you know, it's just it's a lot of work, but you know what? It pays off because you're helping young people, and that's what it's all about. It's giving back.
We want to thank White Bear Lake High School hockey head coach Tim Sager for joining us. Tim, thanks for joining us, and congrats for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Once again, this is your home for White Bear Lake boys hockey here on SCC Sports.
One goal in the first period. Give it to the Hill Murray Pioneers, and that's what separates these two teams. We head to the middle frame. Hill Murray, White Bear Lake. It's the rivalry on SCC Sports with Alex Westhead. I'm Zach Halverson, and we talked toward the end of that period, Alex. Just execution so key here. Bears have to find a way to get some pucks in the net, change this game up. Otherwise, we could see Hill Murray try to squeak out one of those games where you classic game where you just rely on a hot goaltender and squeak out a W.
Well, it might be wash, rinse, repeat for the Pioneers. Bears, we don't know the shots, but we'll take a look at the goal here. You can see a nice outlet pass, stretch that gets down to the corner, and it's a nice thing play. Oh, that's okay. But it was one of those opportunities where on the power play, an even man rush into the zone where it was 3 aside, nobody picked up the trailer, and that's how it's 1-0. But the Bears, we don't know the official shots on goal exactly, but we feel like the Bears had the majority of the shots, a myriad of chances right in front of the net, nothing to show for it. If they keep doing those things that worked in the first period, it'll get it done and they'll get a goal eventually.
Chase Hampstead, Max Jenrich, and Austin Kelly. You've heard those names plenty of times throughout the evening. They will take the face-off. Ben Helgeson, one of those guys certainly that you will hear a lot. Michael Fleischhacker as well. And the goal scorer, lone goal scorer, Charlie Strobel out there for Hill Murray, and the Pioneers win the draw. If you're Hill Murray, man, you got a 1-goal lead. If you can figure out a way to get another goal or two in, you could really put the pressure on White Bear Lake if the pressure isn't already on already. Hampstead does score from the blue line. Chase Hampstead, 17 seconds in, ties the game up at 1.
This is a beautiful shot from Chase Hampstead into the zone. This puck has eyes. He's shooting it from about the top circle on the far side. And the goaltender, Wyatt Vint, maybe gave up a little space right in the 5-hole or top corner as we take a look at it here. This is a goal Vint wants to have back, but a great breakout out of the defensive zone. And you can see as he just crosses the blue line, he rips it in and, excuse me, shot. We're tied at 1.
Yeah, nothing too fancy about that. Just maybe perhaps playing a slight deflection off the D. And you're looking at, by the way, we can confirm Wyatt Vint is the goaltender for Hill Murray. And he must have perhaps misplayed that one. Certainly would want it back, but we'll see how the Pioneers respond as they have the puck deep in the White Bear Lake end. Owen Gallatin. Cross ice to nobody. Dumped right back in deep by Brett Overly. Gallatin to Miller. McMurtry. Back into the White Bear Lake end.
Certainly want to apologize for our clock not being quite perfect. Bit of an issue here with the Aldrich Arena timekeeper as well. So we do want to apologize for that. Also, while we do have a moment, we want to say hi to everybody watching on the Horn on Facebook as we are broadcasting both here and on the Horn as well.
Very cool stuff. You, unfortunately, I don't know why you'd want to live outside the White Bear Lake area, but you are one of those people who make weird choices with their lives. You can watch that wherever you are. But we certainly appreciate you tuning in on your television set, both on channel 19 as well as 801. Great shows as well, not just sports here, but plenty of stuff on SCC Community. But it is the rivalry, White Bear Lake and Hill Murray, and I think we just saw why it is such a highly touted game, and certainly folks across the state of Minnesota landscape are state of Minnesota people watching and trying to keep up on these two really good teams, and one of the better rivalries in the state.
And of course, we can't do it all without the people in the truck too. Two people doing the work of 5 people. It is the holiday season, so some people not able to make it out here tonight. But to our camera operators, to the guys in the truck, thanks for being here. Thanks for being awesome.
Pioneers in the White Bear Lake end trying to get something going, but Bears doing a good job keeping that puck to the perimeter, and now they'll carry it in. Dump and change is what the Bears decide to do here. Chase Bill will get it in, and it's played into the stands, and hopefully everybody is okay down there.
Looked like it hit a young man, and I think he was wearing a tartan jacket before.
It looks like, I think we're okay. I think he's okay down there, so. Not the highest glass. It used to be worse. It used to be half that at Aldridge. But yeah, you certainly got to keep your eye on the puck. They don't put warnings like that on the, it looks like there might, well, we'll keep an eye on that, but hopefully the fan is okay. One of those hard clears that even if you have an eye on the puck, it's really hard to get out of the way of that. That was a hard clear, and well, we wish him the best.
Yeah, unless you have a good glove hand, that one's going to find you.
That's why I always bring a goalie glove to hockey games. People look at me weird, but that could happen. Icing called on the Hill Murray Pioneers. We'll bring it back to the Pioneers side. Very eventful second period, only 2 minutes and 20 seconds in. And between the White Bear Lake goal and some good opportunities, and it's been very, very entertaining.
Well, you couldn't have drawn it up any better, the start in this period for the White Bear Lake Bears. Hill Murray's, though, they're dialing up the pressure here. They're getting on the forecheck, but so far, again, wash, rinse, repeat here in the second period.
Gallatin across to Millard along the blue line, down low to Hampstead. Gallatin shot off a skate, goes back to Gallatin, and he'll try to keep it in, but it goes just past him, and now here come the Pioneers. Helgeson on the right side, across, deflected off of Millard's skate and went into the corner. On the back door was Strobel looking for his second of the game. It didn't get to him. Millard, while it was dangerous, got in the way of it, and it was a huge play. Millard tied up now, and we might see some penalties come out of this. As Strobel involved there, Millard as well. Whistle. We'll see what the officials decide to do. Millard very physical with Strobel.
I don't see them bringing anybody into the box just yet, so they might. It looks like they're ushering Millard, or they just need a puck.
It's getting a new puck.
I think there was one that flew into the stands, went into the hands of a nice young lady. Of course, you do get to keep those if they come to you.
You should. I see way too many people at a varsity hockey game throwing the puck back on the ice. Keep it. It's yours.
I think the Bears' last home game, as many of you know, I'm the public address announcer for them. A fan came from the opposite corner back into the tunnel to bring that puck back to us. Of course, nice thing to do, but you get that puck, you earned it.
You paid at least $4 to get in. They can take like $1 of that admission and buy a new puck. It's okay. And I don't know that that's what the motto, the company motto is here, but I'm going to go with it. Here at Aldridge Arena. Packed arena on a Christmas Eve affair between two teams that, again, do not like each other. We talk about that rivalry, and this is why. 1-to-1 hockey game, very physical. And we are seeing a chance here in front on the back door, and going through on top of Uremovich. They keep play going here. He pokes it free. Lyons is down there. Physical play all over the place, and Pioneers getting some action. Here a shot directed away, bounces away. Now a 2-on-1 forming here. Coming down the ice is Nate Wilkie. Wilkie across, tried to find McMurtry, but it's intercepted, and down the ice it goes. This will be an icing call. Big hit put on, and away from the play. You heard the cheering, you heard the noise, and they're gonna, I think, rule it clean. I didn't see it, I was looking down, but you heard it. A big hit put on the near side, and Again, physical play certainly coming into play here.
Well, it's Ben Helgeson down right here at the Hill Murray bench, grabbing his arm a little bit as he's laboring back to the bench, certainly. Great back check, though, to break up that 2-on-1 that the Bears had going, and then he gets slammed into the boards on what, again, I thought it was a clean check as well.
Officials letting him go. And that's, I think, what you want to see. I think you just let the players decide here. We've had a couple penalties thus far, both, I think, fairly obvious, but when it comes to those physical plays, officials just letting them play on. Here's Hamstead to Jenrich in the corner. Just joining us, it was Charlie Strobel who got things going, and now a penalty is going to be called. Holding will be called on the Bears, and Hill Murray back on the power play.
Well, he had Joey Petronik down in the corner, and I believe Hamstead might have grabbed the arm as he was going by. Certainly not an intentional penalty by any means, but one that will go in the books. And as the Pioneers have already scored on the power play once tonight, you want a different result this time if you're White Bear Lake.
Well, we'll see what happens here in this power play. The Pioneers did very, very well in their first. Face-off won by the Pioneers. Charlie Strobel, the lone goal scorer for Hill Murray. Up on the shot there, blocked in front, goes outside to the corner. Near side to Helgeson. Back out high for Oberle. To his right to Helgeson, back to Oberle. In front, one-time shot, score. Michael Fleischacker. Another power play goal for the Pioneers puts them in the lead. It's 2-1.
Well, it was a very good defense there by the White Bears on the power play, but that's just a puck that Fleischacker doesn't have much of a chance, or not Fleischacker, Jurimovic rather, doesn't have much of a chance. That's a well-aimed shot, blindfolded almost, where it just went top corner. I think the Bears were more concerned about the guy that was at the back post looking for a rebound, but Fleischacker had a great shot, scored in this game last year, and gives the Pioneers the lead.
Nothing too complicated. Pass in front and just whipped it to the top corner. And the Pioneers all of a sudden have a ton of energy as they enter the Bears zone. Another centering attempt shot wide of the goal. Picked up behind by Jake Klein. Klein forward to his right for McMurtry. At the red line, poked around. Matthew Fleischacker gets it in. Taken back, however, by O'Brien. Puck exchanges hands before it's dumped deep into the zone by Vincent Hurley. Around the net is Sam Carr. He centers one, but in the way of that one is Billy Rose. He'll grab it, works it near side. Vincent Hurley trying to keep it in the Pioneer end. Billy Rose will play it free. Whistle blows, and they're going to call an offsides perhaps on this play with 11:09 to go.
You know, uncharacteristic of the White Bear power or penalty kill to give up 2 goals in the game. They'd only given up 2 goals in the entire season until this point. They've already equaled that tonight against a middle-of-the-pack power play, something that if it happens again, they need to shore it up, because now 2 power play goals, those kind of goals will kill you every time.
Along the wall, puck off a stanchion, takes a funny hop to Jenrich, couldn't play it. Now trying to break free here is Tischler. Great back check put on by Millard as he drives the puck in the corner. Owen Gallatin finds Carroll. Long pass connects with Hamstead. Hamstead for the Bears. Nice moves for Hamstead. Driving to the goal, goes in front. Chance there, getting in the way of that one. Nice intercept pass by Lucas Wallen, and the puck is cleared out to neutral ice. My goodness, can Chase Hamstead control a puck?
Yeah, it's amazing to me that he hasn't committed or hasn't had an offer to a college yet. He's got a ton of puck handling potential.
In front, shot, score! Give it to Meister. Bears tie it up again.
Meister with a great way of following up the puck. Vint gave up the rebound. It was right on his feet. He's able to put it past Vint, and again, we're tied. I love the celebration that Meister put to this packed White Bear Lake student section as well.
It is one of the advantages here in the second period. Both of the home student sections are in front of the goal, so you can go and easily celebrate. But what a crazy goal again. Puck goes through, and I believe they're going to give it to Meister. I didn't hear the official call, but he was down there and I think helped forced it. And it was, in fact, Meister helped force that in on goal to give the Bears their second goal of the hockey game and ties it up at 2. But Hill Murray back in across to Michael Fleischacker, but in the way of that puck, or that pass rather, was Brady O'Brien. Jenrich trying to maneuver his way to the goal. Gets tripped up, puck goes to the corner. Pioneers will take it out. Ben Helgeson with speed to his left. Chance in front, loose. Uremovich takes the glove, covers the puck, and stops the play with 9:52 to go. Uremovich didn't like whatever happened in front. He let Michael Fleischacker know that he didn't appreciate whatever happened there, but that's what you love about this game. Back and forth, scoring, scores tight, physical play. Hill Murray, White Bear. Nice little Christmas present for all you hockey fans out there.
You know, for Uremovich's first year on the varsity squad, again, like we talked about in the open, split time with Evan Foss. Both goaltenders certainly capable, but Uremovich has the ability and the positioning as a goaltender to set the tempo, to keep the easy shots from going in the back of the net, and so far he's done a good job of that tonight.
Pioneers out of the zone with it. He'll dump it deep just past Uremovich into the far corner. Klein down there for White Bear Lake. Brushes it forward to New Power. He'll go off the official, and it's back into White Bear Lake territory. Pioneers muscling it through. Behind the net it goes. Bounces right to a Pioneer stick. Nice job by Joe Becker as he continues it back to the blue line. Shot wide of the goal, hits the back wall. Weak angle opportunity. Uremovich was there. Nice job reading the bounce off the back wall, knowing it was going to come out there in front, and he was able to get to his right and make the save.
Good scoring chance there too for the Pioneers. You know, not a whole lot of room from that angle of the ice, but Uremovich strong on the post, able to stop that chance.
Halfway through the second, I feel like we've played an entire period. We're not even halfway through yet. A lot of action, a lot of excitement. Carroll will give it to Jenrich as the Bears will make their way into the Pioneer zone. Hamstead in the far corner. Certainly starting to turn it on here. He got a goal. Also has a penalty in this period. Pioneers will dump it deep. That's Brett Oberle. Carroll reversing direction, goes to his left, but his pass broken up nicely. Finds its way to Jenrich, who gave it to Carroll, and Carroll will gather speed through Neutralized. Nice moves here. He blew a tire, and then allow Hill Murray to take over. Back to pick up is Luke Alles. Alles off the wall for Jenrich. Missed his stick, but Hamstead's there to pick it up. Hamstead will dump it deep. Bears are going to change that second period. Long change. You got to take your opportunities when you can. They will do that as the Pioneers will play it down the ice, perhaps for an icing, and it will be waved off. They're going to say Miller didn't skate hard enough to it. Owen Gallatin to his right. Played out by McMurtry. Now it's Meister. To his left to Wilkie. Wilkie in front. Meister tried to direct it on goal. Couldn't get enough of the stick on it, and instead it goes to the corner where it's swung around near side. Wilkie will try to cycle it down low. It's taken away by Hill Murray. They'll play it to the blue line, trying to keep it in as Millard. He can't do so as the Badger commit Helgeson plays it for, but it's stripped from his stick and played back into Hill Murray territory.
You know, Zach, I like this matchup here with this third line for the Bears and the second D pairing of Oberle and Peterson for Hill Murray. It seems like every time they're bringing the puck into the zone, that third line has that extra step to get past the defense to create opportunities.
Pioneers trying to break up at the far side, didn't work. Big hit put on by Spencer. Make that chase Bill. And now it's Millard. He'll give it forward for Rose. It's in his skates, kept on side. Great work by him. He'll fire a shot that bounces just wide of the goal. Kind of a funny bouncing shot as it's cleared out by the Pioneers to the red line. Millard will jam it right back in. Long change here in the second. That's becoming a factor. I'm sure Hill Murray unable to change out, and here's a chance in front. Diving effort there. Great job by Oberle keeping that pass from going out in front. Now a shot from the blue line. is cleared down the ice by Jake, as Jake Klein was stood up there. Puck goes back to White Bear Lake and then allows the Pioneers to change. They will take advantage of that opportunity as it's Carroll who'll move it over to his right. Chance for New Power. New Power goes down low. Carroll hit up away from the play as the puck comes free up the near side now. The Pioneers cleared out. Nice speed for Sam Carr as he enters the zone. Carr to his left. Chance shot. Save Uremovich. Rebound to the corner where it's played back out for Hurley. Hurley down low. Intercepted pass goes through. Picked up in the center face-off circle by Jenrich. He'll go to Hamstead. Hamstead curls out toward the blue line. He'll lose it. It's clear to the zone. O'Brien will send it in, but it hit right off of a Pioneer stick. Bouncing puck gathered by Hamstead. Hamstead, nice stick handling. Hamstead across, trying to jam it free. He'll send it in front. Bouncing puck gathered here by Lyons. Lyons to his left for Hamstead. Hamstead with a chance here, but he sends it down low for Jenrich. Jenrich to the far side. Not a power play. It's 5-on-5 here at Aldridge. Bears controlling it well. Carroll to the corner, behind the net for Jenrich. Jenrich in front, nobody there. Pioneers will take over. They'll make their way down the ice. It's taken by Hurley. He'll cross the line and dump it in. Pioneers get another change. Bears will replace some bodies as well. Lyons over to Carroll. Back to Lyons. 5 minutes ago in the rivalry in the second period here at Aldridge Arena. Off the glass, taken by McMurtry, played to center. Missing on the puck was Henthorn. He'll recover, however, and gets it deep into the White Bear Lake end where it's picked up and swung around there. But in front again, a opportunity for the Pioneers, but it's thwarted away and swung down the ice as McMurtry chasing after it here. No icing there as it's Henthorn will pick it up and send it down the ice. There would have been icing, but I think it hit the official. So puck had some momentum. I don't know if it was going to make it, but it's going to be close. Nonetheless, Bears will recover. They'll try to clear. It's kept in for a moment. The second try will get to New Power. New Power's at the red line, finds Wilkie. Nate Wilkie with some open ice. He'll just have to play it down deep. Bears going to change with 4:20 to go in the second period. New Power in front, directed away behind the goal by Wyatt Vint. Along the near side, grabbed out of the air by Meister, set down low, backhanded around by Regan. Far side, Gallatin trying to keep it down low. Meister's down there as it's pinned up along the wall.
Quast without a stick as he had to give it to the defenseman Reagan, who had it knocked out of his hand.
Helgeson rings it around the boards near side. He'll come down and help on the near side now. 85-foot player is Ben Helgeson all over the ice tonight. Millard will flip it up in the air. Bears dump and change, as they call it. Out toward the blue line. Nice moves by Helgeson. The captain will get it out to center, but it's taken right back in by Gallatin. Great read by Gallatin as he'll drive in. He'll center in front. Carroll, it skips his stick, bounced over. And that ice, perhaps not in the best condition. The pass was a good pass, tape to tape. It just was not controlled well on the receiving end as the Pioneers carried in off sides after incredible action end to end.
Well, again, it feels like White Bear Lake starting to take control of its game. They were skating circles. They had an opportunity when what was essentially a power play with Quast without a stick in the defensive zone. But again, nothing to show for it. Great opportunities. The ice is well used frequently, but again, it might have had an impact on that pass in front to Carroll.
Neutral zone draw. Bears win it. Played to Hamstead. Hamstead open ice. We'll see what he does with it. We'll move it on the right. Goes behind, drives to the goal. Hamstead shot save, rebound down there is Jenrich, but it goes behind. Hamstead keeps it going. They'll jam it back to blue line. Here's taken by O'Brien. Down low now to Carroll. Carroll down to Hamstead. Jenrich. Back out high. Across. Misplayed there, and now it's carried out by the Pioneers. It's Sam Carr. Lost it upon zone entry, gets it back. Sends a backhand pass to no one. Austin Carroll will gladly take over. He'll slide it to his right to McMurtry. Goes across. Jenrich shot. Score! Late in the second, the Bears take the lead.
Zach, that is exactly how you draw up a 3-on-2 entry into the zone. They had 2 guys going in, 1 guy back. The defense took both of the guys with the puck, and then the other guy in low. Jenrich is wide open for a beautiful pass. And if you get shots like that, opportunities like that, you're going to fire it home every time. Beats wide, 5-hole. Bears have a lead, 3-2.
And a quick update from Lambeau Field, as you are certainly watching this and not even worrying about that. Plug your ears if you don't want to know the score. Are you ready? Players plugged. Okay. Vikings 10, Green Bay 0 toward the end of the first quarter. So Stephon Diggs just got a touchdown. So as that was going on, Bears and the Vikings score almost simultaneously.
Well, they got a battle down here in the corner too, as it looks like now White Bear Lake playing with a lead. They have the ability, sometimes they do give up that lead when they're up in a significant game like this one.
Wilkie driving to the goal, had it poked off his stick, now high off the glass. And after really a second period, the first part of it controlled a lot by Hill Murray. Pioneers had some hope. The Bears chipping away at this Pioneers team and now have a lead there. And they really, I'd have to say, the difference is execution. They're putting pucks in the goal. They were putting pucks on the goal all first period. That didn't do much for them. This time they're putting them in the net. Now they have a lead. But give credit Hill Murray. They played a pretty good second period as well. And they have given themselves an opportunity as we reach 90 seconds to go in the second. They've kept this game competitive, and they could certainly steal this one away. Still plenty of time left, but yeah, you certainly feel the momentum shifting towards White Bear Lake's way, especially after a very concerning second period. The end of it, at least, is looking pretty good.
Well, you certainly can't discount what the Pioneers are doing. All 2 of the goals in the period were not necessarily the fault of the Pioneer defense. They were well-aimed, perfect shots that the Pioneers just couldn't stop defensively. And it looks like the Bears are well on their way to their first win against the Pioneers since 2004 in the regular season.
Easy.
And I'll knock on wood.
It was 4-1 in 2011. Okay, this is not well on their way, Alex. I wish I had your confidence. I really did. As a White Bear Lake grad, I wish I had your confidence, but I just don't.
Well, if I recall, as we get an icing touch up here, I think I jinxed that game too.
Did you really?
I think I was talking about, we're going to get down to the XL Energy Center. The band's going to be there. It's going to be a ton of fun. And then it's 4-4.
Well, I'm not going to invite you to any high-level, high-anxiety, nervous, big games. You stay away from me in the NFC playoffs, please. Oh, we're going to have the Super Bowl here. Just get ready. We're hosting it. Just under a minute to go in the second period. White Bear Lake and Hill Murray and SCC Sports. If you're watching on the 23rd of December, you're watching it live. So that's pretty cool stuff, huh? And, of course, welcome to our worldwide audience on the Horn as well.
We'll take
in the corner. Sorry, Alex, did you want to say something?
No, just keep putting the puck in the corner. Keep making them chase after it, get the goalie moving.
Wilkie to McMurtry. Far side. Pioneers will make their way. Pioneers trying to get something going late in the second, but getting in the way of that shot. Nice job by Jake Klein. Collision at the blue line. To the corner it goes, and that'll do it for the second period. A very entertaining hockey game thus far. The Bears and the Pioneers this period sees a plethora of goals, a plethora of action, and it's White Bear Lake on top, 3-2. Impressive job really by both teams.
Well, certainly the game's not over. Both teams will go into the locker room. They'll make adjustments. We'll see what happens here in the third. But never count on a Bill Lechner team, because they can score and they can come back and haunt you.
And you talk about just the amount of comebacks that have happened. There's been plenty of heartbreak in the third period for White Bear Lake fans. So I don't think there's a fan on this side of the ice that's confident at this point. And you know what? Maybe that's a good thing, because I hope there's no confidence in that locker room, and in the good way, in the sense that they're not coming out, oh, this is over. They've got plenty of work to do. Hill Murray, though, if you're the Pioneers, you have to be, I know this sounds crazy, but you have to be pretty happy with how everything's gone thus far. Bears have outshot the Pioneers drastically, and they've somehow kept it to a 3-2.
Well, it's exactly, hi guys, hi,
You're
hello.
popular.
Yeah, I guess I'm the teacher. Guys, we're on TV right now. But yeah, exactly how the Pioneers, the Bears wanted to draw it up. You wanted to be massively ahead in shots. You wanted to be in control of the game, and that's exactly what's worked so far for the White Bear Lake Bears. We'll see if they can keep it going in the third.
Well, Alex, we'll let you step aside here, and we'll get him back, of course, coming up in the third period. For now, we'll bring on Danny Ryan. He covers high school hockey for YouthHockeyHub.com. And Danny, first of all, you've seen plenty of White Bear Lake this year. It's been a pretty impressive hockey team, and it was looking a little shaky early on, but it seems like, especially as that second period went on, after Hill Murray did a great job coming out of the gates, it appeared that White Bear Lake's finally catching their stride.
Well, Blake Meister's body certainly helped him on that period, right? Putting the puck in the net there. But really, they started to settle down, play White Bear hockey. I think what has hurt White Bear Lake this period has been themselves.
Right.
But other than that, they're playing good puck right now.
And you look at the teams that they're going to have to play coming up here. Bloomington Jefferson, probably easier opponent, but then you follow that up with Edina on January 4th. If you're White Bear Lake, this wins are very, very important right now. If you can get them now, because you got Edina coming up later on. That's going to be a tough game throughout January. Stillwater as well, they're going to have to play here very soon.
Yeah, I think, they got to be looking ahead at Edina, but Stillwater's a great section opponent as well. You got to start stockpiling those wins coming in the section playoffs. And so you look at this game, you look at Stillwater, White Bear wants to have the #1 seed. They don't want to play Stillwater.
Yeah, and that's really how important this game is too. If you're Hill Murray and you're White Bear, this game, when they go to the seeding meeting come February, this will be a big part of that, I think. And I think both teams in the locker room, they want the higher seed, they want the better view or better play time. Of course, not only the difference between 1 or 2 is really when that semifinal is played. Do you want to play on Tuesday night here, or do you want to play on Wednesday night here and have less time to recover? So certainly one of those things I think to keep in mind moving forward for both teams into this final third period. Seeding, a big factor here in this game.
Even though Hill Murray will have the home ice sort of thing.
We continue here. We're live on SCC Sports as well as The Horn. This is Danny Ryan. I'm Zach Halverson. Danny, across the high school hockey landscape here, Section 4, just among plenty, we got plenty of storylines here, but there's plenty of storylines throughout. What should fans, at least who maybe just only follow Hill Murray or White Bear Lake, keep an eye on moving forward here as we get deeper into the heart of the high school hockey season?
How good is Edina? Can they go undefeated? What about Class A? Class A this year is probably the most tossed up that it's ever been. Look at, right now we have a Matamidi team ranked #1 in the state, and they're a very good team. But you have Hermantown laying in the weeds that has had a rougher start to the season, but is a very good team in their own right. And you have a couple other teams like Orono out there, and Section 7A with Hermantown, Greenway, Virginia. I like Class A this year. I think if you're a hockey fan, check out Class A.
Let's talk Matamidi a little bit here, a little bit more in depth, because they're certainly in our viewing area, and I think so close, bordering White Bear Lake. The Zephyrs, very fun team to watch this year, and on top of the Metro East, they got a good chance, at least in the conference play. And you mentioned section play too. That's their section to lose, I think, at this point.
Yeah, 4A is maybe a little bit more down than it traditionally is.
Right.
St. Paul Academy does not return their leading scorers like they had last year, and so it's kind of Matamidi to lose. And they're led by a great goaltender in Hubbard, and I forget what his first name is, but he's a very good goaltender. And they just have a great team atmosphere. They have good size, and play team hockey very well. I've seen them twice. I saw them play Hill Murray earlier in the season, and I saw them play Greenway a couple weeks ago.
And across that Metro East, you have Hill Murray, obviously,
Yes.
toward the top. But then you look at like a team like St. Thomas Academy.
Yes.
I know you love to talk about your cadets. That was an impressive victory the other night, 7-1 over Hill Murray.
It's the first time in the rivalry between the two schools that St. Thomas Academy put Hill Murray into running time.
Wow.
And that rivalry dates back all the way to the Catholic schools conference days.
Right.
And so it's pretty impressive. St. Thomas Academy is having a good team this year. The top to bottom, they look very strong. Atticus Kelly is playing great in net. They're one of the teams to watch out for. You look at them, you look at Minnetonka's playing good puck right now. Moorhead might be a little up and down, and Duluth East is kind of rounding in the form up north.
You talk about Moorhead. They
Yes.
had a tilt against Grand Rapids tonight.
Yeah, did you see that one?
The shots on goal,
62-3,
62-3, and what was the score?
8-0.
8-0. It was at one point only 1-0, and the shots were, I think, were like 30-0.
Well, Gabe Holm's a good goaltender. If he was starting
Right.
for Grand Rapids, there's a reason why he's
Yeah.
in the Frank Brisman conversation. He's that good type of thing.
I don't think I've ever seen shots on goal that tilted in a game where, I mean,
A
credit
game when it's
right.
the returning state
Right.
champion.
This returning state champion, but Grand Rapids, a team that White Bear Lake will see coming up in February. They're going up to Hibbing and Grand Rapids, and unfortunately for White Bear Lake, I think when you go up there, you certainly want to see some good competitive teams. I don't think we're going to see that from Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids is a little bit down this year, understandably, and Hibbing's actually a little bit down this year,
Right.
too. They lost Jarrett Lee to juniors, their leading scorer last year, and Ryan Euland a couple years ago, their goaltender, is playing in the developmental league.
Talking with Danny Ryan on SEC Sports. He's covers high school hockey for Youth Hockey Hub. You're all over the state. You're at Miners Memorial Building up in Virginia. If you want to check out our YouTube page on SEC Sports, way back in the archives, we did a story on Sports Path. I did a story on Sports Path, brought a camera up there when White Bear Lake played Virginia, and just some of the shots from that arena is so cool, so awesome.
There's no bad
Yeah.
sight line
No.
in that rink. It's just awesome. You walk in and you're walking into history. You're walking in where Ba Harrington played his high school hockey. It's just really, it's a cool atmosphere. And the fact that it's only like a 10-minute drive from Eveleth,
Yeah.
that's the other weird part. And they have like both teams have separate rinks that are outstanding
Yeah.
rinks too.
Amazing. If you can ever go watch some high school hockey up there, too. This is a great barn.
Yes,
I'm not going to take
Aldridge
anything
is
from
cool.
Aldridge. And some of the other rinks that we have down here in the Metro, Braemar, etc. But when you go up to there, they have from IRA Civic Center, which Bears fans should certainly check out. But make it a whole weekend of it if you can. Go up to
Greenway
Hibbing.
is cool. Hibbing is awesome. Hibbing Memorial is a sick rink. Miners Memorial is cool. And I went to the HIP as well last night, and that's a fun rink.
There you go. The Eveleth Hippodrome.
Yes, the
Not
original.
the White Bear Lake Hippodrome.
No, the original
Which is
HIP.
pretty cool, too.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't think we're going to host any high school hockey there anytime
Not
soon.
anytime soon.
I'd love to see a 3-on-3 deal, some special thing. It'd be pretty cool.
I'd watch it.
As we continue here in the intermission report, by the way, White Bear Lake leading Hill Murray 3-2, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. While we are on the topic of arenas, I want, as we close this out here, I want your thoughts, because when you talk about White Bear and Hill Murray, one thing that tends to always be brought up is the Lee and Rose Warner Coliseum.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame that we haven't, I mean, it's been what now, almost over 5 years, almost 6 years now since we've seen these two teams meet. But there was just a magic to that atmosphere, whether it be White Bear and Hill or any of the other rivalry matchups as well, that, from Section 3 to 4. And we look at the game winner at the 2011 final, which I have, I think, saved on every device I have. I watch it whenever I'm sad. This is just one of those incredible moments, but it's one of the many, many moments. And I think one cool thing about this, and this is going to perhaps anger some Hill Murray fans, this is pretty cool too, but when Stillwater makes their first state tournament berth by upsetting the Hill Murray Pioneers
the last game.
in
I
the
was there.
final game of the Coliseum, that was a great representation of what that building just had upset after upset, and some amazing atmosphere. You can see one of those major upsets. Hill Murray, #1 in the state that year.
You know what I was doing? I was in Lincoln, Nebraska watching this game.
Really?
Yeah. Going to college. This was awesome because White Bear came back 3 goals, right?
Hill Murray did.
Hill Murray did,
White Bear was up, and it was a crazy game. Certainly just one of those many great games at the Coliseum. And so many great buildings in the state, and it's tough that we lost one of them. But who knows?
It was odd. That rink was odd.
It was.
From getting in to the sight lines, you had to sit on the ends.
There was problems too. I mean, one of that Stillwater Hill Murray game we should talk about here really quickly is pucks go up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
It's so dark in the rafters that you can't see where it is. Goalies would lose sight. Certainly one of those reasons. Anyway, Danny Ryan, you talking of, thank you very much for your time this intermission. Enjoy the rest of the game, and certainly check out your work if possible out there to the hockey fans across the White Bear Lake, White Bear Nation.
Yeah, go Bears.
Go Bears. Thank you very much, Danny. That is Danny Ryan. As we bring Alex Wested back into the conversation after enjoying, I don't know what you did. You take in, by the way, I'm learning very, very quickly here. Aldridge Arena, great hot dogs.
Absolutely. The best hot dogs in the Minnesota State High School League.
They go with Nathan's, but they cook them really well. Probably the same oil all year, so the flavor just really seeps in. I don't. It's very good. Anyway, White Bear Lake, Hill Murray. It's a 3-2 hockey game. Going into the third, not decided at all. Not over at all. You look at White Bear Lake coming up. Bloomington Jefferson, I was going to say it doesn't get any easier. It does with Bloomington Jefferson. After that, it gets harder. You're going to play the #1 team in the state. So Bears can get some momentum here. If they can close this thing out, this would be huge for White Bear Lake season.
It would be huge for the team season, but the community as well. Again, if you're here at Aldrich or anywhere else, just look at these fans here on the White Bear Lake side. It is packed. People are out in droves to see their Bears. And again, the same on the Hill Murray side. It's fun. There's no other way to say it. And of course,
13 years and a month since the last time Hill Murray fell to White Bear Lake in the regular season. The score holds in 17 minutes. That ridiculously long streak will be over. But if any Bear fan will know, and any Pioneer fan will know, this game is never decided in the beginning of the third. It's decided at the end of the third or even past that. White Bear Lake coming out of the gates flying. Miller with a shot that ramps off a stick, goes in the netting behind, and
of course, sorry about the intermission transition there. I'm a substitute teacher in the White Bear Lake district, as many people know, and I had a group of students that decided to come up and say hello.
You're a big deal, Mr. W.
Apparently I'm one of the more well-liked subs in the district, so nice to see kids out and
There's
say
a lot
hi.
of good subs in this district. I never had you because you're not that much older than me, I don't think, but yeah, no, a very good school district. Brian Peliquin walking around here. I saw earlier the new activity director doing a very good job filling the big shoes of Tim Herman. And certainly he's got the retro Bears jersey. That was very cool. I'm very much impressed. Turnover, glove save, Uremovich.
Well, you certainly like how Brian Peliquin has started to introduce himself into the community and has been very active at the events, not just the big name events like this one or the football games or the basketball games, but he's been to everything. He's been to wrestling, Nordic skiing. He's out in the community. He's connecting with the students, the parents, and the families of the people that live here and participate in all these events.
Face-off won by, I guess, the Bears. Wilkie got on it first. He'll play it down. Not a lot of speed here. Held up a tiny bit there, but he kept it going. Did Wilkie. Blue line kept in. McMurtry sends it off the official. It'll be picked up by Matthew Fleischhacker. Matt, number 14. Michael, number 15.
Certainly a lot of families that send their kids through this Hill Murray program. Quasts have been a big name. Among others, Fleischhackers, and when they go to Hill Murray, they go in waves, to say the least.
That is for sure. One of those names we got to mention too, Joey Anderson, former Hill Murray Pioneer, has been named the captain of the U.S. Under-18 team, the World Juniors Championship. And his brother played on this team as well. So, and his brother's on the World Junior team too. So you talk about that Anderson bloodline. Great talent coming out of Hill Murray, and a shot turned away by Uremovich. We mentioned earlier Gensel in the National Hockey League. I called some of Jake Gensel's games. I'm going to be honest with you, did not see that coming, but that's how that usually happens.
Well, when you're trying to get to the NHL, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of chances. We don't have an arm up there and a trip in front, but it takes a lot of effort, and Gensel is one of those guys that in this Hill Murray program, he put in the effort and he got there. And there'll sure be many to follow.
Bill Lechner, the head coach of the Pioneers, seeing a lot of talent. Tim Sager, for his part, has seen plenty of talented players. And as far as NHL guys, White Bear Lake had Ryan Carter up until last year. Of course, Justin Braun still playing well for the San Jose Sharks. As White Bear Lake has the puck through center, up the left side. It's McMurtry across, Rose with a chance. It goes on goal, and it's covered by Wyatt Vint. Vint is 2-0 on the year, by the way. He only saw 42 shots entering this evening, but has certainly played pretty well. He's seen plenty of shots tonight. Might even double his shot total from all season, just tonight alone.
Well, to make it work for both teams, both had goaltender questions coming into the season, and both have been splitting time with Vint and Keppel for the Pioneers, and then as Vint makes a nice little save there. And then Uremovich and Foss for the Bears. It's been a question of goaltending, and that's ultimately what it'll come down to in Section 4AA.
Just under 3 minutes into the third period. I will mention, too, and a good note brought up by one of our researchers here, Chad Olson. Vint is from White Bear. He played hockey with my brother back in the day. So one of those White Bear kids that jump ships to Hill, but you know, religion is important.
Well, it's part of what makes the rivalry so special too, is that for the most part these kids are playing at the junior levels for a long time, and then when Hill Murray starts accepting students in grade 6, that's when that splits start to come out. But the familiarity is still there. They hang out in the summers, and the handshake lines usually more often than not are pleasant between friends.
Plenty of smack talk throughout the summer, but like you mentioned, a lot of them, they train together. They're friends growing up, and some of those kids defer to Hill Murray, but yeah, as you mentioned, it's just it's what makes perhaps it's so heated, the rivalry between these two schools in the Northeast Metro. So almost 4 minutes in here. The clock, well, not quite a factor quite yet here, but White Bear looking to get some insurance. Pioneers looking to tie this thing up and get us a whole new hockey game.
They're certainly still taking a peek at the clock for White Bear fans. Again, 13 years since the last regular season win against the Pioneers, and last year's tie made it a little more uncomfortable, I guess, is a word I would use between the two teams, where somebody wants to win tonight because nobody wants this one to end in a tie.
And again, you never know with seeding, you never know with upsets in the section, but you know, these two teams could very well not meet again in the playoffs. You almost kind of root for it, even though for White Bear, you know, the chances have not been good in the past, but you always love it when these two teams meet in the regular season, but the postseason as well. Pioneers have the puck. It's Ben Helgeson driving the goal. He'll fire a shot, pad save. Rebound, push to the corner. Turned around, and you wonder too, by the way, as a pass goes through the crease. Now another chance, that's blocked. Good job by Austin Carroll. He'll try to gather some speed here as he moves it to Hamstead. To Jenrich. Back to Hamstead in the corner. He'll swat it down on the near side. Pioneers will clear it back out. You wonder, I mean, obviously Keppel didn't do too well against St. Thomas Academy. I don't think you want to put all the blame on him, but when you give up 6 goals and you're pulled in the second, that certainly doesn't help. But you wonder if you're Bill Lechner, the head coach of the Pioneers, putting a White Bear kid in the goal against the White Bear Lake Bears. again, it might have happened anyway, regardless of where Wyatt was from, but you wonder if that was a factor in the thinking process, if it swayed him more or perhaps even less to make the switch. But again, Wyatt Vint playing very, very well against perhaps some of his former teammates.
Well, I know that as we are going to get a penalty here on the boards, I think that may have been an illegal check or something. We'll wait for the official call.
Not what the Pioneers want, as heading to the box is Joey Patronak. And I haven't seen a call quite yet. They're going to talk it over.
May have been a hit to the head. Well, no, just a general cross check. But like you're talking about, if I'm Bill Lechner, I would make that start to put the White Bear Lake kid in goal, almost as a, this is what you could have had. This is what is missing from your program. Watch it work. Granted, it's not gone Wyatt Vint's way so far, but that's what I would have done if I was Bill Lechner.
Cross-checking call in another White Bear Lake kid, too, is Joey Patronak, playing for the Hillman Pioneers now. I want to clarify that. But as Hampstead goes to Jenrich, he'll fire a shot wide. But it's almost a good thing, and it's almost good news that for White Bear Lake fans that Hill Murray is stealing some of these guys, because there was a long time there, long stretch where there wasn't guys going to the Pioneer team, and I guess that's more of a testament to how good your program is. As a shot rings off the post, Gallatin hit the post, sent a low shot. Now another chance in front, bouncing puck just away from Jenrich's stick. If it went on there, it would have been a goal. Instead, the Pioneers clear it to the blue line. Carroll will drop it back for Gallatin. Gallatin hungry, he'll drive into the goal, but it's apparently offsides.
Well, a great chance there, but the best sound and the worst sound in the entire any hockey game ever is that post. As we look at the chance here, a nice wristed shot on, just bounces off the pole, and nobody there to sniff out the rebound, but a good chance there for White Bear Lake here on this power play.
I like those shots from the point. I always like them low. As a guy who would stand in front and screen the goaltender all the time, I never understood why these defensemen who are not Zdeno Chara are trying to pick a corner when there's nothing but bodies out in front. Pucks are always going to go through. That one found its way right through to the goal, and unfortunately a couple inches to the left of where maybe it would have gone in. But nonetheless, we continue on. Wilkie with a shot, hits a stick, goes behind the goal. Swung around the wall, back to center, and it'll go all the way back in the White Bear Lake end with 40 seconds remaining in the power play.
Well, a lot of time what they look to do if there's an open look from the point, just put it on net, because there's so many bodies in front there. If it bounces the right way, gets one little tip of the puck in front, that could be in the back of the net.
Millard retreats to his own end, 20 to go in the power play. Down the ice comes Spencer Millard. Offsides is the call.
Might get a little extracurricular here, as I think Millard was given a little shove there by Sam Carr, as I think it was God, where is he? Chase Bill, that was an offside as he was entering the zone.
15 seconds remains on the power play for White Bear. It's a one-goal hockey game. I want to encourage you, if you're in the White Bear Lake area watching us live tonight on December 23rd, watching wherever you're watching, call up your friends, call up your family, let them know. Tune in right here on SCC 801 or Channel 19 as well. SCC Sports. Very good game here as the Pioneers now back to full strength. Big penalty kill for them as the puck is corralled at the red line, sent off a body by Jake Klein. He'll get it right back and he'll finish the job. Nate Wilkie gets in the way of that one as the Bears will carry it in. It's Connor McMurtry driving the goal, but he'll lose it and he'll get it back. He'll play it across to Carroll. You got to love McMurtry, a very versatile player. He can use the body a lot, but he seems like he has a magnet on his stick at times. He can just keep that puck and puts it at a very good area and can generate some good scoring chances.
At 6'4", he's on the ice and you know where he is.
Driving to the goal, chance for the Pioneers. Shot save, rebound cleared away by the Bears. Good luck for Joseph Quast for the Pioneers, trying to get that equalizer. If you're White Bear Lake, you gotta stay on guard. Taken in by Lucas Wall, and he'll center it. Shot by Quast, turned away. And the Bears will clear it down the ice. That'll go for an icing with 8:11 to go in the third period. Pioneers starting to generate some offense here, and with an offensive zone face-off, could be a good opportunity.
Now here's a chance here by Quast. A great way. He had great possession of the puck as he was driving down in. Great edge that he had, too, going on the inside edges. He was able to get a shot on goal, but Urinvich was able to keep down in the butterfly to hold the post down, and not a whole lot came out of that chance.
8 minutes remaining in this third period. Austin Carroll plays it to Gallatin. Hampstead fighting for the puck in the red line. Will be dumped in deep by the Pioneers. Millard is there. Lost it for a moment. Got it back. Got it over to Owen Gallatin. He'll try a long pass that's broken up nicely by Fleischhacker. Michael Fleischhacker, I should say. But then that pass is broken up, and then Gallatin skates it in. Michael Fleischhacker shoots a shot that's stopped by Uremovich. Gallatin skated it in. The skates, I believe, of, was it Millard cutting across? And that nearly cost the Bears, but Uremovich comes up big.
Well, some dangerous turnovers on both sides of the puck. The Pioneers and the Bears both kind of messing around with the puck there right at that blue line, but Uremovich had a great shot that ended up going right into the chest area. He's able to grab it with the glove and keep it to stop that play and just let White Bear set up again.
7.5 to go. We'll keep you apprised of the time. It's certainly becoming a factor here. Pioneers again looking for just one. These teams tied a year and a day ago. 1-1 was the score then. They've outdone that. Here's a chance for New Power. That's stopped up there by Peterson. Peterson trying to clear, had it poked away. Pioneers will go back in their own end. Chased down by Matthew Fleischhacker. Big hit put on by New Power. Said that for many, many years about his brother Wyatt, who was more of a physical defenseman. Sam certainly showing some of those physical traits as it's dumped back into the White Bear Lake end by the Hill Murray Pioneers.
I said earlier that the New Power family was one that was a hockey, or the Hill Murray was a hockey family school, and the New Powers are a hockey family as well. But for the Bears, where every student that they've had coming through the White Bear system has played hockey and has been very successful at it on both sides of the ice, both here for the boys and for the girls as well.
Nate Wilkie keeping it in. Trying to center, it's broken up, taken out by Sam Carr. Carr up to the red line. Finished through, but that's an icing on Oberle, who wasn't close to the red line. And Bears will get an offensive zone draw. Look at their top line back out there. Pioneers trying to find a way to get another goal and get this thing extended, but
you know, it'd be a big statement for the Bears to come out and win here. For Hill Murrayans in the 2010s, they have an 86% win percentage here. 64 wins at home compared to 10 losses, 5 ties. It's tough to win in this building. We've said it before.
Jenrich with a shot. Mina Kotzemeyer. Gallatin with a drive save. Rebound loose. Carroll centers it again, but it's covered by Wyatt Vint.
And give some credit to Wyatt Vinton, the way that he's played tonight. The Bears have been coming fast and furious all night long, but Wyatt Vinton has done a good job of keeping the puck out of the back of the net and keeping his team in this hockey game.
Face-off won by the Pioneers. Big win there, got it to the blue line, but Owen Gallatin keeping it in for a moment before it's played behind him. Now back to his stick. Gallatin will backhand it deep. Under 6 to go now. I don't think too much can be said of that long streak here as the Bears are on the goal mouth with a chance. Gallatin has it. Gallatin shot saved. Jenrich down there for the Bears, and it's covered by Vint, but it's taken away nicely by Carroll. Austin Carroll is pickpocketed. Now he uses his body, kept the puck at the blue line. Will be Millard who will do a nice job along the line keeping it in. He'll send it down low before it's cleared around. Now Hampstead with a shot. Jenrich tipped it. And it goes behind the net. Bears fans wanting a call on Jenrich there. Looks like some holding now, and icing is called on Hill Murray. Face-off will go back to the Pioneer end.
That was Joey Patronik, who was on top of Jenrich there for a long time and showed no significant effort to get off of him. That's a call that you want to look at and call holding as we take a look at the upcoming broadcast here on SEC Sports.
Yeah, you look at a lot of, well, you got some White Bear girls basketball, got some more girls basketball with Tartan. Tartan versus Mahtomedi wrestling. You like to see those two schools go at it, so some great stuff coming up on SCC Sports. Pioneers with it in the Bears' end. To the blue line, a shot bounces around, goes to the corner. Under 5 to go. Jam back to the blue line. Matthew Fleischhacker, shot, pad save. Kind of a dribbling puck. Nice job by Juranovic, at least staying home, keeping the pad down. Bears are able to break it out. Cross the red line, dumped in by Meister.
This is usually the point in the game where we start to see a defensive shell from the team out in front, and so as not to give up a breakaway or an odd man rush. I don't know if I like that for the Bears. I'd rather have them keep the foot on the gas, just keep it going. You've had possession all night as we get a 2-on-2 through center ice.
If you want energy, this is the line to bring it. It's Billy Rose behind the net as he puts a body on a man there. Puck is poked free. Vincent Hurley out. Off the wall to center, here they come. Joe Becker on the left side, he'll dump it in deep. It'll be stopped behind by Juranovic. He'll hopefully return to his goal, and there he is. After a play in the first period with Ben Helgeson coming on Juranovic there, he's certainly responded well to that. You know, you got to stay mentally tough. Probably the toughest position on the ice, especially at this point in a hockey game. Now 3.5 to go. Both these goaltenders playing very well tonight. And the White Bear Lake Bears, though, with the lead, 3-2.
Well, Zach, think about it as we get a chance here. That goes out to the corner. But think about how much of a different game it is if that kind of odd goalie play goes into the back of them. Maybe Juranovic is shaken. Maybe the Pioneers start really going down on the other end of the ice. It's a huge difference, that one play in the game that's made so far.
Turnover here, it's Austin Carroll. Carroll driving to the goal. Looks around. Goes to Gallatin. Owen Gallatin has his pass intercepted, and down the ice comes Charlie Strobel, one of the goal scorers tonight. He'll drive to the goal. Backhand shot. Juranovic saved as Millard sends Tischler to the ice. Owen Gallatin with 2.5 remaining. Lost it in the neutral ice. Played back here by Ben Helgeson. Helgeson driving to the goal. Staying out of his feet to his left. A shot directed away nicely by McMurtry. Pioneers keeping with it. Back out high for Fleischhacker. His shot doesn't get to the goal. On the right side, Oberle sends it on goal. Save. Rebound shot off the iron. Troy Tischler hit the post. Had plenty of net to shoot at. Kept in by the Pioneers. Played behind the goal. Bears struggling here with just under 2 minutes remaining. But they're staying alive as it's played out by the Bears. It's Meister, one of the goal scorers, entering the zone. He'll curl outside. Muscled free away from the puck. It's picked up by Lucas Wallen. Swung into the far side. And the Pioneers clear it out. Somehow Hill Murray did not tie it up there on a great opportunity.
Well, that's exactly why I don't like the defensive shell structure, because the Bears were getting a little bit too focused on getting back defensively when they really should be still pushing. Don't even let Wyatt Vint get a chance to get out of his net.
1:10 remaining in the third. 1 minute remaining. Goal scorers, by the way, that November 23rd, 2004 game was a 3-2 White Bear Lake victory. David Grund, Justin Futh, if you remember him, with the goals, along with Sean Hilton's. Back out in front, a shot stopped there by the Bears. Jenrich with an empty net, fires a shot, score! Max Jenrich with 42 seconds to go, makes it 4-2 White Bear Lake.
There is your dagger. First time since 2004, the Bears are going to hold on and beat the Pioneers, not just ever, but on the road at Aldrich Arena. This is a fantastic statement win for the White Bear Lake Bears tonight.
Timeout called by Bill Lechner as the Pioneers talk it over. 42 seconds, certainly not impossible. But we look at the upcoming broadcasts again. Want to mention really quickly, got St. Anthony and Tartan girls basketball coming up. The new year, plenty of action courtesy of CTV and Town Square as well, helping us out and getting some great girls basketball, boys basketball, some girls hockey as well in the schedule. Again, be aware some of those games will also be broadcast on SCC Global, which is channel 18. Again, we mentioned David Grunn, Justin Futh, Sean Hilpish, the goal scorers in that November 23rd, 2004 is the end of the first term for George W. Bush. Zach Faust was in goal for the White Bear Lake Bears. David Grunn, one of those goal scorers, ended up winning a national championship at the University of Minnesota Duluth in 2011. It's been a long time, folks, and 42 seconds, again, not impossible. Want to maybe hold on to your hats quite yet, but this is a very special evening, perhaps, regardless of what happens, because if it does get tied up, it'd be a pretty special evening anyway. That'd be nuts.
Well, Zach, that last win in 2004, we were both in elementary school, and
Yeah.
you take a look at the way the crowd is now. I don't think a single White Bear Lake parent, fan, student, nobody's left. Starting to thin out a little on the Hill Murray side. For White Bear Lake, that's a good thing to see.
Icing called on the Hill Murray Pioneers, 31.1 to go. Again, 13 years, 1 month. November 23rd, 2004 in this very building. It was a home game, I believe, for the White Bear Lake Bears back when they played their home games here. This one will count as a road win against their rival. Their first times in the regular season, we should mention, of course, March 4th, 2011 Section 4AA final, as another icing is called. And you know what? Hearing the "I believe that we will win" chant, which was the motto, the slogan for that 2011 run, hearing that in this building with these two teams playing, it's very cool to see. And I think we're going to get a timeout on White Bear Lakeside, and you wonder if this is just to let the guys soak it all in here.
Yeah, definitely to soak it in. It's a big moment for White Bear Lake fans. We can only talk about it so much. This puts the Bears in the driver's seat. I would tend to think in Section 4AA, as when it starts in March, the Bears would be the team to look for. But like I've said on Twitter before, I think Tartan's a lot better than a lot of people are giving them credit for, and I would prefer to see them in the top 20 coming up.
Depending on how the Bears do against plenty of other teams, obviously Stillwater, certainly they still have 2 games to play against them. They have another game against Creighton, who's very, very good. But it's appearing more and more like the Bears will be playing at 11 a.m. at this building and against the number 8 or number 9 team in Section 4AA. As, wow, unbelievable. 14 seconds to go. Pioneers win the draw. They'll fire a Hail Mary pass down the ice. It's taken back by Millard. 8 seconds to go after 13 years and a month. The Bears have defeated the Hill Murray Pioneers.
What an incredible moment here, Zach. You see the players spilling over the boards. It's not a regular season game. This one means more to everybody. You can't match this atmosphere, and it's a huge statement win from the Bears.
You look at the fans here, just giving them a standing ovation. You look at the players. They know the history of these two teams. They know the history of the rivalry. And it has to feel pretty good for this team. And again, we appreciate you joining us here this evening to see, again, something that hasn't happened in over a decade, a regular season White Bear Lake victory over the Hill Murray Pioneers. It finally happened, and what a great game it was. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll analyze this whole thing here. You're watching SCC Sports. The Bears beat the Hill Murray Pioneers 4-2.